In this video, I'm going to share with you how to deal with swimmer's ear naturally. I will give you several different options, so you should have one available right in your home, and then also what you can do to prevent it. First off, how can you tell if you have swimmer's ear? So swimmer's ear is in the outer ear. So it's just right as you go in. Sometimes Q-tips can reach in there, but it goes to the eardrum, and then you have your inner ear. So the eardrum prevents water getting into your inner ear. So this is an infection or some pain resonating in the outer ear. And you can tell that it's probably in that area because just when you touch it, maybe around here, you'll feel some pain. When you pull on your ear like that, you'll feel that pain. You also might lose some hearing, sound a little muffled when you're trying to hear things, and sometimes you can just feel that there's some water or residual or something in there. And that was my son's case. We were out in the ocean and he's like, I feel like I have some sand in my ear and some water in there. I can tell. And he was trying to get it out and he just could tell that it was in there. And so that's why I wanted to do this video, to help you to know how to detect it and how to prevent it. So what happens with swimmer's ear is you get water in there, and it's not just like when you're taking a shower and get some water in there, but when you're swimming underwater, it's in there for a long period of time. If you're at the beach, sand, debris, chlorine gets in there. What happens, it can cause irritation to the lining in that outer ear. Some of that debris may stay stagnant sitting in there, and then bacteria can form, fungus can build up there, and that's what will actually cause the pain and irritation. Also, some of that debris that goes in, maybe some sand or the chlorine, it can cause little scratches in the lining of the outer ear, and so that it can make it more open to infections. So there are 3 things that you can do to actually prevent swimmer's ear. The first is earplugs. And so you get those little wax earplugs and put them in. They mold into your ears, preventing the water from getting in your ears. Some people don't like them, and so that might not be an option for you or one of your kids. The second option is that after you're done swimming, that you can actually dry out your ear canal, that outer ear part, with just a hair dryer and some cool air blowing in there. And just do that for both ears, as you're trying to get the water out, but this will blow it dry so you don't have that stagnant water sitting in there. And then the third option is to create a solution that you have on hand that you actually put into the eardrops, into your canal, so that it prevents bacteria or fungi from forming. So the solution that you want to mix up is a 1-to-1. It's either water with rubbing alcohol or water and vinegar. So just equal parts of those. You can put them in a dropper bottle you can buy online and just have this on hand. So you'll just take those drops and put them in your ear after you're done swimming, and let that sit for about 30 seconds and then just dump it out. What this does is it actually will dehydrate the water in the ear, so it kind of dries it out naturally, and then also helps to prevent bacteria or fungal type infections and also inflammation. Okay, so what do you do if you have swimmer's ear? How do you get rid of that? The number one way that I found is using a 3% solution of hydrogen peroxide. And the reason why I love this is that it helps with any kind of infection, right? Sometimes we'll put them on cuts and things, but also because of the bubbling, if there's debris in there, it helps loosen that up. So that was the case with my son, is we didn't have this when we were out, and as soon as we got home, he still felt like he had some sand or something in his ear, and we didn't want it to get infected or to cause problems. And so we just put the hydrogen peroxide in there, and it just kind of bubbles. You let it sit there for up to a couple of minutes, and then turn on your side and let that drain out. And you can do it a couple different times if you need to do that to help to ease the swimmer's ear. Now, number 2 for us has been if you're in the place where you're actually experiencing pain. Not just I know something's going on there, but you're feeling that pain. I love to use essential oils on the outside. Now, essential oils you never put on the inside of your ear. They're just too powerful, too potent for that sensitive part of your body. So you can actually just pat them around on the outside. You can put them on a cotton ball and then stick that in there, and the aromatic compounds will travel down into that outer ear to help with that pain and inflammation and things that are going on in your ear. So I use lavender and tea tree oil. They have worked phenomenally well for this, and I have been using the oils for over 12 years now. I have 6 kids, know that this works really, really well for your ears. And in fact, I have a roller bottle mixed up. It's called Happy Ears because we often deal with ear challenges, pains, discomfort, and so you can just use that roller and rub it on. If you don't know much about essential oils, I recommend you learning more about them. I will up here my crash course for essential oils, how to use them, and also a beginner's guide down below, and then some of my favorite recipes. But in the 12 years that we've been using essential oils, we've only gone to the doctor once for sick care. That's how important they've become to our home. Now let me share with you some other things that you might have on hand that can help with swimmer's ear. Some other common things that maybe you have around the house and you need this right now, you can grab an onion and cut it in half, and you can stick it actually on top of the ear. I know it sounds disgusting, but if you're in pain and you're needing support right now, can't wait for a shipment or wanting to go out to the store, that onion can work really well. You can also dice it up and put it in some cheesecloth, and you just kind of wring it out, the juices from that, and that juice can actually be put right into the ear. Another thing you could use is garlic. So if you have garlic and olive oil on hand, you can cut up a little bit of garlic, put it in a pan with about a tablespoon of olive oil, and just heat that up so that the garlic is mixing with the oils. And then again, using a cheesecloth, just straining that into a little bowl or container. Then you can pour that garlic oil into your ear. Or you can buy garlic oil and have that on hand. You can get that on Amazon, and any of your health food stores usually has garlic oil. You can also use coconut oil. So there's antibacterial properties in coconut oil. So you'll just want to heat it up enough that it's melted so it's not solid, and then you can put a few drops in the ear as well. And then finally, a couple other options. You can use apple cider vinegar. I would usually do a 1-to-1 ratio with water to dilute it and put that into the ear. It can help with killing the bacteria, really neutralizing it in the air. And then you can also use rubbing alcohol mixed with water. So again, a ratio 1-to-1, and putting that directly in the ear. Now you have your eardrum that blocks the water from going into your inner ear. So I was always afraid when I was younger, like, you're gonna do something to me. But you have your eardrum that blocks the water from getting into the inner ear. So it will just sit in the outer ear, and then you can turn over and drain that out. And then also heat can be very soothing if you're in pain, inflammation. With any of those options, you can also add heat to the ear and can help with some soothing. Now, if you don't have oils, I will link up my favorite kit that has your top 10 essential oils, including a diffuser. You can grab my recipes down below. Also, if you haven't watched the crash course, the essential oil crash course, I recommend you do that because it will help you to better understand how to use them and safely and effectively. And then my beginner's guide as well.